Today's Toy Spot, we are having a look at the Funko ReAction Figures horror series, The Crow. To be even more specific, this is Eric Draven from Crow, the very first Crow, and not the lackluster sequels that we've gotten afterwards. Eric Draven is a 3 3/4 inch figure, fully posable, and by fully posable, it really is fully posable to the standards of a retro design figure. So swivel head, swiveled arms, swiveled legs is pretty much all you're going to get. This Crow, Eric Draven, also comes with his Weather Vane weapon that he uses at the end to fight Top Dollar, and this comes from the folks over at Funko. A nice image on the front of Brandon Lee as Eric Draven. So sad again, I know it's long after, but so sad that we had to lose Brandon Lee during the making of The Crow. On the back of the package, the entire horror series collection consists of Michael Myers, Freddy Krueger, Jason Voorhees, Eric Draven, Ghostface, Pinhead, and Sam. You can head over to www.funko.com. You can also follow Funko on Facebook at www.facebook.com/originalfunko. Now, while I wasn't able to find these in stores, I did end up getting these from one of the eBay sellers I normally buy from, and that's the Man of Action Figures. So if you guys are interested, I'll put the link down below, and you guys can head over there and check out the pieces that they are selling. Spot's going to take a break, get this opened up, and when we come back, we're going to get a better look at the Funko ReAction figures from the horror series, and we'll be having a look at Eric Draven, The Crow. There's more heading your way, guys. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. As Spot had mentioned, Eric Draven does come with his Weather Vane. You have to be a little careful, I find, with the Weather Vane. I already had a piece pop off. I don't know which side. Oh, there it is. That's the side that fell off. Because the pieces of the Weather Vane are just tabbed. You see right there, there's a little notch, little groove right there. Even though it came loose, I could peg it back into place, but it's a bit fragile. It's très fragile. So be very careful that you don't accidentally break off. I might just ultimately glue it back in, but these pieces are prone to popping off. The thing as well, too, he doesn't seem to want to hold the Weather Vane at all because the handle, or the makeshift handle, is too big for his hands. That's why I tried to actually get it on the side of the Weather Vane, and that's why this piece broke off. Broke off like that. Putting that to the side, I'm not really devastated. I probably wasn't going to have Eric Draven holding this anyways, but you get that. We'll just put that to the side. As Funko continues their retro design figures, digging the licenses that they've been able to acquire. The Crow is a nice addition. Gray as to, I don't know if I would have put him in the horror class. I guess he is technically falling in that horror class. Or if they eventually had expanded out to a superhero, which might have been a harder license to acquire, they could have possibly put Crow in there as well. Now, this is Eric Draven. He doesn't come with his trench coat. It would have been a fun thing had they given him the trench coat, but they had given it like the old Star Wars figures, like the old Obi-Wan and Darth Vader, where it was like that plastic, that plastic sheet that they had the figure kind of wearing. It would have been neat if they had done that with his trench coat too, and then that would have been really a great nod to like the old retro figures. You may not everybody may like the design of ReAction figures. Spot's more than aware of it. I mean, I look at these figures, I admit I do look at them with rose-colored glasses, which basically means I have a soft spot for old classic figures like Mask and Star Wars and G.I. Joe and stuff that I grew up with. So figures like this is figures that I would have grown up with and would have really loved. It just so happens that we get them now, but I mean, these are figures I would have loved to have had when I was a younger kid. As I mentioned, he doesn't have any real sort of articulation. Yes, he has swiveled legs. He has swiveled arms that go all the way around, and he has a swiveled head. But he doesn't really have, a ball socket joint or a hinge in the elbow, hinge knees, or anything like that. That's not really the point of ReAction figures. If you get it, you love them. If you don't get the line, it's hard to really say, yeah, these are really cool figures you should pick up, because a lot of people will be like, Spot, these are so old, like, why would you want just doing these? It doesn't even bend at the knees. But, you know, again, that's the draw for ReAction figures, is that they're geared towards collectors that would have loved retro design figures back in the day. Like, when Spot had a look at the Alien figures, you have no idea. I really would have wished to have had a Xenomorph back in the day when I had G.I. Joes and I was playing with G.I. Joes as like 6, 7 years old. That would have been so cool. To get them now, very cool. But man, oh man, did I wish I could have had these when I was younger. For likeness, would I say it looks a lot like Eric Draven? No. Again, that's more so falling in suit with the other retro figures. Even back then, Star Wars figures, like, look at Han Solo. Han Solo looked nothing like Harrison Ford in the old 80s, early 80s figure line. He didn't look anything like it, but, you know, it is what we had back then. If Funko was to redo and release another Crow, I'd love to see him do another Crow with the trench coat. I don't know if it's something that they would consider, and you never know. Maybe we might even get like an Ash Crow 2 figure, which I guess they really wouldn't have to change too much to the figure. They'd maybe have to just kind of white out the eyes and make them just more lines coming down from the eyelids, and do a little bit something different to the mouth. But you could even do that too. You could probably even customize this. Crow 3, Crow 4, just leave those be. Don't even touch them. Don't even make anything to make people remember those movies, because those weren't very good. But like I said, the articulation is very simple on them. Just straight swivel in the shoulders, straight swivel legs. In fact, the legs don't even go any further back. They stop at the square butts that all old retro figures had. Just nothing but a big old square butt. But I like this. I love these figures. I don't know if I would class them as horror necessarily, as much as I would class them under superhero, but the Crow is still a really neat looking figure. If I could give him a rating, and don't shoot Spot saying, Spot, it's no way, you can't compare this to a super articulated. No, you can't. You can't compare it to a super articulated figure. But if I could compare it to other retro design figures, especially like the ReAction figures, I would give Crow here, strictly from that standpoint, I would give Crow an 8.5. If you are a fan of the ReAction figures, let me know down below what you guys think of Crow. Maybe you've picked him up for yourself, and you know what? Also, let me know down below what other figures you'd love to see in a ReAction line. I kind of would like to see RoboCop. I don't know if they've done RoboCop. I don't think they've released RoboCop yet, but if they haven't, I'd like to see them do a RoboCop figure. Today's Toy Spot, we were looking at the Funko ReAction figures from the Crow, and we were having a look today at Eric Draven. Stay tuned. Spot's going to definitely have more videos heading your way. Thanks for watching, as you always do, and I'll see you next time.